Rockwell,
I'd like to know, are you really ready for some super dynamite soul? And thank you, because now it's start time.
Rockwell.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. You are in the building. We're in the building. It's Saturday night, and we're live on the Rockwell Radio Show. This is your DJ Rockwell, host of number one podcast in the city, number one podcast in the nation, Rockwell Radio Show, y'all. Hey, yo, I hope y'all had a pleasant week, a beautiful weekend, or having a beautiful weekend. Because, man, it's so much to talk about, so much to get into. Oh, my God. And we got a guest and a subject tonight that's second to none. And I can't wait to tell you how we got here. But first, you know what we do every Saturday around this time. We need everybody to stop what they're doing. All of you who are watching, to go ahead and do the three things. We need you all to go ahead and hit that like and share button. Please tag a sister who needs to see this. And above all and beyond all, make this be the day that you subscribe to the Rockwell Radio Show on YouTube. We are live here every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. This is the place to be. So all y'all come on in the room, come on in the room, come on in the room. Tonight is for our sisters, man. Big Dave, y'all, tonight is for the sisters. And you know what? To be honest, tonight really is for the brothers too, because there's something that I learned from the book that we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to be talking about a book that my sister wrote, my niece wrote. Man, this book right here, entitled The Promise of God to the Woman of God. I'm gonna say that again. It's entitled The Promise of God to the Woman of God. Well, Brother Vaughn, what does got to do with brothers? Well, guess what? They're marrying men. They're setting themselves aside to marry men. Wa alaikum salam, Stalita. Thank you so much for being here. Somebody tell somebody, tag somebody, share the show, because tonight is going to be extraordinary. Tonight's going to be something dope, man. Let me tell y'all how we got here. You know, because people be like, man, it's a hip hop show. Why are you doing all these love and broadcast and whatnot? You know something, man? If it moves me, if it's something that touches my soul, and this book touched my soul, and it's worthy to be talked about, when a woman can be as honest, as transparent as she was with this book to help our people. I was at the mosque last Sunday. And you know, man, I know these sisters, and I call them all my nieces, Big Dave. You know, that's all niecey. That's niecey. I say niecey in the mosque, and 100 sisters turn around. Who's talking to? Man, known these people since they was teenagers, since they were children, mosque babies. I know your mosque got them, mosque babies that they've been there since they was blah, blah, blah years old. This sister tonight was a mosque baby. And man, she came up and was like, Brother Vaughn, like, please buy my new book. And you know, man, when you support the sisters, man, please, ain't nothing they can ask you that you don't do. And you know, my intention was, let me just. And then I got the book in my hand and I looked at the cover and was like, wow, this is a really good looking cover. I was blown away. I read it in the matter of one day. 5 chapters, 40 pages, blew me absolutely away. I want to put the picture of the cover up on the screen so you can see it closer. I want you all to look at this book real quick, because in the cover, to me, is a hidden science. There's a message right in the cover. We're talking about the promise of God to the woman of God. What do you see here? You see a black woman over peaceful waters. You see at her mouth the rising of the sun. You see shadows covering her face. What you're looking at here, ladies and gentlemen, is a black woman of God who speaks the light of truth, who is sitting over the waters of peace to put her potential man at peace. Brother, when I studied and looked at this book, I was like, oh, wow. I wonder if the person who did the artwork understood the power of what they made. Man, the light of the wisdom of God is coming out of her mouth. And that's exactly what you have with this book. Dave, let's tell them again, man, to do the 3 steps before we go. Before we bring the sister out, you've got to go ahead and hit that like and share button, somebody. Tag someone, tag a sister, tag a brother. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe tonight. The sister's book is available on Amazon.com, and you can find the link to her book in the description of this video. Big Dave, this week I was making a soundtrack of things that I would do, of music that fits the occasion. And I came up with Luther Vandross, and he made this wonderful song called Wait for Love. And Big Dave, it applies. This is a book about those who are waiting for love, putting themselves in personal contact with God because they are trying to wait for love. And I ain't mad at that. This sister is a first-time author, a longtime soldier for Muhammad, Vanguard, MGTGCC, Mosque baby, born right here in the city of Atlanta. Please welcome my niece, my little sister, for the first time on the Rockwell Radio Show, my sister, Alicia Muhammad. Wa alaikum salam, sis. How are you?
I'm overwhelmed, and I'm so honored to be on the show, and I'm just grateful to Allah to be here and be able to share whatever wisdom I have to share with everybody else.
Oh, niece, you. This here is full of wisdom. So much in this book. And I'll be honest with you, I was overwhelmed and blown away by what you had to say. So
Thank you.
Let's begin, if it's okay. And we're going to do just a little icebreaker, we're going to ask this little humor question. I was talking earlier about, you born and raised in Atlanta, and anybody from Atlanta knows that ain't nobody from Atlanta.
Right. Oh.
So you just corrected me off air a moment ago. You're not a Grady baby. You are a
Crawford Long baby.
We got to make the distinction. So here's the first question tonight. You heard the song by Omeretta, not Atlanta, right?
Right.
Did she speak for you when she put that song out there? What did you have something to say about that?
No, because I was from Atlanta. As she said. So, not College Park, not Decatur, Atlanta. I was born in Atlanta.
So, come on now. Now, you come from a family in Atlanta, born and raised in a mosque that is one of the biggest families in the mosque.
Right.
I want to talk about, before we even get into the book, I want to talk about your family, and particularly your mother. Let's start with this quick pic of mom and family. Let's go to slide one bit. There's my sister. There's my sister. Look at her, a big mama's baby. What I want to, and that's my sister, Alicia Muhammad. As you know, we work together in the secretary department, and man, I will kill a brick over that sister right there.
Yes,
So
sir.
I want to start by asking tonight, tell me about the relationship with your mother and what did that relationship do to inspire you to write this book?
Woo, my mother is my best friend. Shh.
Don't cry now. Come on, don't cry.
I'm not.
Don't cry.
Her birthday is tomorrow.
Okay.
Praise be to Allah. I'm not gonna cry because I love my mom so much.
Come on, man. Come on. Come on.
I don't cry, Brother Vaughn. It's your fault. Ask me about my mama first.
And so
You
we
ask me
family.
about a man first, but
We family. Come on now.
no, but I love my mother. I have seen my mother struggle through so much.
Right.
And sometimes it makes you want to fight.
Come on, man.
But
Come on.
you know, yeah, sometimes it makes you want to fight because you know she's a really good person.
I bear witness.
She's very genuine
Mhm.
and she's a good Muslim.
Come on.
And, she's my heart. She's everything to me. So anytime I can talk about her, it kind of like just I love my mom so much. Like I would do anything in the world for her. But she's a soldier first.
Come
and
on.
she definitely don't make no excuses. She took care of all of us. And now that I am mature, I want to be able to do the same thing that she has been able to do for us for all these years. You know, so she is a perfect example for me. That now she the best example I've ever had.
Come on.
I seen her bear witness and live the life of a woman, single, raising 10 children by herself. And you know, it's just such a beautiful thing because she's so strong. I've seen her with my father and without him, and I've seen the outcome. And she's so strong, and Allah has blessed us to have her with us in good health and in good spirit. And she ain't make no punks, and she ain't make us weak. So I'm not gonna cry because she get mad. She see me crying, but no, she instilled in us hard work ethic,
Come
obey
on.
the law, and love your nation because
Right,
this is all we have. So to me, she's the epitome of a great MGT. Everybody else have their opinion, but one thing about my mother is that if she love you and she got your back, she going all the way for you. So and that's where I got that from. And I thank Allah for her, for me being able to come through her womb and then grow up under seeing such a woman like her.
Again, I bear witness to every word you said. And this applause is for my sister, Sister C.
Yes, sir.
You're tripping. What's wrong with you?
I ain't dropped one. I almost did. I got a little shaky, but I ain't cried.
Let's keep it going, sister. Let's keep it going. Now,
Yes, sir.
we're not done talking about family yet.
Yes, sir.
You say here in the dedication of the book, you say you wrote this book to show my young sisters that our virtue is so important in a world filled with temptation, sex, money, and drugs. Dave, let's take a look at slide number 2. I want to show this family talking about the sisters. Next one, Dave. Right there. I'm sorry, I said 2. I meant 3. There, look at our sisters, man. Come on. This is our family right here that I've had a pleasure to know for years. So what I want to ask you is, what does virtue look like in a world that's as wicked as you described? What does virtue look like?
It's so hard, Brother Vaughn, to even explain it because it's hard to find.
Come on.
It's really hard to find because the biggest thing for virtue is having high ethnic and moral standards.
Come on.
And so many of us, we waver our morals to fit in.
Listen.
And that doesn't necessarily mean virtue. Doesn't mean, it's women that are sexually active that are still virtuous. That does not necessarily mean just because you are a virgin that you are virtuous.
Come on.
Because you can still be a virgin and still have low morals.
Come on.
And ethics. So you're just missing the act. But your mind is of the world. So what's the difference? You might as well do it. And so that's why I said we don't talk about it because it's taboo. We make it taboo. But it's not taboo. We got to talk about it so that we can then start being what we're supposed to be. Virtuous women of God. And don't hide the truth. The only way we're going to get to that is if we talk about it. It starts in the mind first. Before you do any acts, before you break any law, it starts up here. You already see yourself doing it. So if your mind is already in the gutter, it's already in the mud, you might as well just go ahead and do it and ask a lot of forgiveness. That's how I look at that. Like, I mean, yes, sir.
How about that? As a man thinketh, the scripture tells us, so is he. That's Sister right. Queen in the house. Assalamu alaikum. Brother Michael in the house. Assalamu alaikum. We want everybody to go ahead real quick. If you're watching, first of all, thanks for tuning into the Rockwell Radio Show. This is Brother Vaughn, aka DJ Rockwell, the nation's #1 DJ. And with me tonight is my sister Alicia Muhammad, author of the brand new book, The Promise of God to the Woman of God. And you have got to get your copy of this awesome work. It is available on Amazon.com, and you can find a link to go order that book in the description of this video after we're done tonight. Let's move on now. Now, dear sister, the foundation of your book sits on two words which you took the time to describe in detail and define: patience and obedience. People may understand why you chose the word patience based on the title of the book, but you might have to explain why you took the time to point out obedience. So if you will, break down the word obedience and what does that have to do with the process of finding the mate?
Yes, sir. So for me, because I had to take it for myself, because I'm a hard cookie sometimes. I can be around the edges. So I had to ask myself, what is obedience? What does that look like? And then in parsing the word obedience, I had to go into the word. And a lot of us don't like to submit.
Come on.
To God. And if we believe that the black man is God, and we can't even submit to what he's saying, I mean, you don't stand a chance if you can't submit to God. Then you, black God, you don't stand a chance. So we have to learn how to be obedient and also when to be submissive. You submit to God. You need to learn how to submit to the God in the man, period. So that's something that I had to really look at that. I'm like, we don't believe in a mystery God. We believe that he came by himself in the person of Master Muhammad. So if he came in the person, he a man. So if I cannot obey his will, if I cannot obey what he's saying, then you don't a chance. So the first thing I need to learn how to do is obey him, the man that came to save me. So I'm like, we don't believe in a mystery God. So a lot of women get very upset about the word submission. Submission does not mean that you're going to control my every move. It does not mean that. Everybody has one that they have to submit to. I don't care where you go. You got a job, you got to submit to that person over you. You got a man, you got to submit to whatever you all have agreed to submit to. And so that is something that I wanted us to really study and look into. The word obedience, patience, and submission.
And I thought it was very significant that you opened the book that way by putting those two definitions out front. Brother Reginald, assalamu alaikum, sir. The link to the book is in the description of this video. So if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, after the show is done, you can go right to the description area and find a link to order this book. You are tuned in to the Rockwell Radio Show. We're getting close to the halfway point. And my sister is in the building with us tonight. She is a first-time author, and I'm so proud of her. Her name is Alicia Muhammad, and she has authored a brand new book entitled The Promise of God to the Woman of God. Let's move on. Now, this is the last question for this side of the segment before we go to our break, Sister Alicia.
Yes, sir.
I want to close the first half and point out something that you pointed out on page number 4 about being infatuated with the idea of love and marriage. Sister Alicia, what is it about love to a woman that is infatuating? And why is that something that sometimes can be misleading?
Well, first, for me, because I was speaking from my perspective, you got to know what love really is, because love and lust can sometimes feel the same way.
Teach.
And we get caught up, and then you end up with somebody that really was lusting over, and you really, once you get to know you, I don't love you. I just, you know, and you have to be honest. I didn't love you. I was lusting for you. Or I was impatient, so I just needed to feel my fix. And we don't talk like that. But if you talk like that, and you be honest, you'll know, and you gotta get straight to the point. You'll know if you really love that. They're gonna show you, and it's not gonna be about sex. It's not gonna be about that. So I really like studied the minister's lecture. I'm studying because I'm not done studying. I'm a student, so I'm really studying the minister's lectures about marriage and about love. And love is duty. You know, and a person can tell you they love you all day and never show it in their actions. So the question is, do they love you, or are they lusting for you? Are you a temporary fix for them, for their need, for what they need at that current moment? Are you an everlasting thing that could potentially be for someone?
How about that? How about that? Brothers and sisters, we are in the building right now. This is the Rockwell Radio Show, live with us, Sister Alicia Muhammad, first-time author. She is not a Grady baby, but she is born and raised in Atlanta. You can't hurry love, hollin' Doja holla. Come on, that must be brother Mr. Jamil right there. So we are actually ahead of the game. So I get to sneak in another question or two before the break.
Yes, sir.
Now, as I said at the opening, this is aimed at women, obviously. And like I said, when I saw the book, I was like, I just want to support, whether I read a page of it or not. I wanted to support. But when I read the book, there was something in there for me too, as a man. So what in this book can men take away? Even we weren't your target audience, what do you think men can learn from this book?
To start being the chaser again.
Come on.
Start being the chaser and don't fall into the stigma of life right now, because everything is so, it's crazy. Everything is so backwards. Be the man that finds a wife, and know that you're searching for your prize. Get out of that. You got to get out of that mindset. You're the man. The women are waiting for you to come and get them. They're waiting for you to do what it is that you're supposed to do. It's not our job to chase. And when we chase, then you say, you're desperate. I don't want you. Da, 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 da. Yes. So then, you leave sisters that's really looking like that. Then they look stupid. In a way, excuse my language, but that's a fact. Don't no man, a real man, don't want no woman chasing after him. He don't want that. A real man do not want that. He don't want no woman chasing after him. He'll take the bait. He'll take it, But he don't want that. He want the one that is not gonna just come over there because he smell good and he look good. He want her. You easy because you're throwing yourself at him like you desperate. So that's something that the brothers can take from that. Be the one in the front so that you can get what it is that you want to.
So let me use I don't like to use the term devil's advocate. I'm gonna use the word, and Brother Hashim taught me this, use the term angel's advocate. And so go with me here for a second.
Yes, sir.
How do you respond to women who say, well, sister, it's 2022. If we want it, we got to go and get it. We can't wait on no man to ask us. If we see what we like, we need to go ahead and ask for it. That's an outdated thinking. What do you say to sisters that have that mindset?
You are a modern day miserable woman. That's what you are.
Oh, wow.
Because when you go against that moral standard, I just don't understand it. It's really crazy for me, but I have an acronym that I came up with, and I'm gonna probably say it after the break because my brain just went mute a little bit. But it's the women today, especially in my age range, because I'm in my 20s, my late 20s, but you look desperate. Like why are you doing that? You throwing yourself at him. He ain't paying no attention because he looking at the girl that ain't paying him no attention. And you look like you just available for everybody. Like, I never liked the idea to even ask for a man. My mama did not raise me like that. So I'm not asking for you. I'm going to make myself known so you can know that I am available because there's ways to do that. But I am not. You got to be skillful. You know how to play it. He's skillful to get you. You got to be skillful too. So you got to learn the game and learn how to do it. Sister Sharifa, now I'll be pleased with her. Mr. Sharif's wife. She used to say, just walk. Don't say nothing. Just walk, turn, and then walk back out. You don't have to say nothing. You're present. You don't have to do all of that. You do not have to do all of that. You don't have to do that. If he see it, he gonna look, and then he gonna decide if that's what he want to do or not.
Brothers, sisters, she just gave y'all a class. In 1 minute, she just gave y'all a whole class. Shout out to my brother Apocalypse in the building. Come on now, you are watching the Rockwell Radio Show, and you didn't know you was going to get a class on etiquette right here at the Rockwell Radio Show. I'm telling you, we do it all. We do it all. We are about at the halfway point, and I got one last question I'm sneaking in before we get to the half.
Yes, sir.
We hear the term thirsty thrown around a lot, and it seems like sisters can't win. If you express that you want a man, you call thirsty. And if you don't say nothing, you don't get nothing. Exactly. So where is the point in the middle where women can make it? Well, as you just pointed out, how do you do that? And you just answered that as well. But this whole thirsty idea, is there any validity in such a claim at all?
It is, Brother Vaughn, and I actually added one to the book. See, I think it's okay to be a little thirsty every now and then. You get a little thirsty, But some people is dehydrated, Brother Vaughn. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. You're doing absolutely too much. Like, pipe it down a little bit. But I mean, it's one of those things where it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. Excuse my language.
I follow.
It's kind of like especially in the nation. I'm still trying to figure it out. I am. It's a work in progress because in the world, it's easy. Of course.
You just said something.
It's so easy.
Come on.
Easy. Like, honestly, I've been approached by so many men outside the nation that I'd be like, I do not want you. I want a FOI.
Say that.
It's not that I can't. I don't want you. You're not what I want. We don't have nothing in common. So it's just trying to find that balance on how to do it without being inappropriate. You know,
Understood.
I'm still working on that. I don't know. Somebody can help us with that.
Sister, we at the Rockwell Radio Show are so proud of you for what you have done in this book. Sister is, again, in her 20s, but this book contains wisdom that is far, far, far beyond her years. This is DJ Rockwell. My guest is Sister Alicia Muhammad. We are now at the halfway point. Tag somebody, tap somebody. We will be right back right after this, y'all.
Worldwide, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Download the Final Call Radio app and take us everywhere. On your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also log on to finalcall.com and click the Listen Live button or finalcallradio.com. Final Call Radio, the official voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam.
Hey, everybody. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
We got news. Did you just say walaikum salam?
Yeah, sorry, keep going.
Yeah. But we have got a program that you're going to love. It's called Nothing But the Truth with
Brother Jamil
and Sister Tisha. We come on every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 on the West Coast. And we love to have you drop by and join us.
That's right.
Why? What are we going to do? We talk to folks. It's like dropping by your cousins in them house and them. And to have a cup of coffee and talk about what's going on in the world, what's happening, what's been interesting to you. So come on by. Every Thursday on YouTube, go by, subscribe, Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha. Or go by the Facebook page of Tisha Muhammad, T-E-A-S-H-A Muhammad.
That's
and
right.
watch our program. I think they'll love it, don't you?
I think they would, and we'd love to have you.
Peace.
See you Thursdays.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. You're tuned into the Rockwell Radio Show. And tonight, what a conversation we are having. Man, I am so proud of my little niece, man. I'm talking about sharing her experiences, bearing her soul with stuff that happened to her in her life. And I'm telling you, this book is an absolutely great read. Again, the book is entitled The Woman of God Thanks, Dave. But first, we're going to support the Rockwell Radio Show via Cash App. You can support us, if you like, by hitting $ Rockwell Radio. See, I'm not in the habit of even asking, but I got to ask. If you like the programming you're seeing here, don't be hesitant to show your love. Again, it's at Rockwell Radio at Cash App. If you like the show, support the show, and that's that. Don't be scared to show your love here at the Rockwell Radio Show. Now, we want to shout out Nothing But the Truth. They're on every Thursday at 8 p.m. And if you're not listening to Final Call Radio, what are you doing? You got to listen to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You can get his messages 24/7 on Final Call Radio. But let's welcome back to this show, my sister, your sister, first-time author, Sister Alicia Muhammad. Let's welcome her back. There she goes again. Sis, are you ready for part 2?
Yes, sir, I'm ready. I'm fired up.
Let's get to it, man. And again, I cannot tell you how blown away I am by what you have written and what you shared in this great work. Now, some of these next questions are going to go a step further. We're going to go a step further. Now, let's start by asking this, starting the second half. I want to start the second half, Sister Alicia, by taking a closer look at some things you said in chapter 3 of your book. Chapter 3 is entitled Doubt and Loneliness. It's in this chapter, Sister Alicia, that I thought you were the most transparent about your own experiences. In fact, you described this period, Sister Alicia, as absolute darkness, your words. So, to me, there's a huge difference between lonely and alone. But you use this period to talk about the value of being alone. What to you is the value of being alone?
Yes, sir. So for me, for my growth and my development and my mental strength, just being honest, I had to really learn who Alicia was. Sometimes we get into situations and it takes years for people to learn who they are. But Allah, he has been my friend through this whole thing. Like, Brother Vaughn, I had my life planned out.
Come on.
And when you are a planner and stuff don't go your way, you feel like, what is happening? Like, right. I was like, I'm going to be married when I'm 18. I know who I'm going to marry. This is how this thing going to work. I'm gonna have a child at 25, and the rest of my life, I'm going to be traveling the world. Allah said, psych, you're going to get yourself together first. You're going to get ready for the right man. And that's not my plan for you. And I had to really learn that I was not lonely through that process. And at first, I didn't understand. I was trying to figure out, why am I not meeting anybody that I want to meet? It's not that you don't meet people. It's like, this is not what I'm looking for. But I can't, and we cannot attract what we want or desire in our life if we are nothing that we even dream about having.
Listen,
I couldn't have him. I was nowhere near mentally. My mouth wasn't nowhere near having a real man. I would have got a dentist because straight up, I would have got one because I'm real straightforward. And I used to just say whatever came to my mind first. So Allah prevented me to have to go through that kind of stuff so that he can work on me. He's still working on me, to become patient, my temper go down, listen before you speak. I just think 5 times before I speak and times it by 10. I think 20 times before I speak because I don't want to hurt the believers because I'm just thinking about something and I just say it. Oh, you don't do that. Allah taught us how to think. He taught us what to say, what to do. So he's working on me and I'm a work in progress. I'm not perfect and I don't want to be perfect. I just want to be good enough for God to approve me for the right person. So my alone time is for me to learn how to love me because I cannot love anybody if I don't learn how to love myself first and love the God who created me.
Beautiful answer. Beautiful answer. This is DJ Rockwell, and my guest tonight is Sister Alicia Muhammad. She's the author of a brand new, fantastic book titled The Promise of God to the Woman of God. Dave, if you will, Dave, put that book back on the screen one more time. I want people to see the book up close. There it is right there. Again, the name of the book is The Promise of God to the Woman of God. And you can order that book right now on Amazon. And the link is available for you right now in the description area of this video. So once this broadcast is done, you can go right back to the description and order her book. Let's move on, this is.
Yes, sir.
Again, you were super transparent in this book when you shared that at one point, Sister Alicia, you started changing up the way you dress. You started changing your hair and doing the whole lash thing, all for the purpose of getting the attention of a man. And you just told your story. So what did you learn from that experience and going through that? And what can you share? And here's the key part. What can you share about the pressure that women feel to have to appeal to a man, his lower half, just to even get their attention.
Wow. Brother Vaughn, I was thinking, I was in high school, and I was like, is something wrong with me? Like, I started feeling like something was wrong with me because I went throughout and still have gone throughout my whole adolescence and teenage years. That's when I started really picking up on it. I'm like, nobody ain't trying to talk to me, and I'm not ugly, and I got stuff that people like, what I mean?
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna change the color of my hair. Maybe then somebody will look at me. They'll look at me. Like, I've never had a problem with men I've always had men as my friends. I never had women as my friends, maybe 3 at my whole life. But they would talk to me, but they wouldn't, that's it. Like, that was it. And I was like, what is wrong with me? So I said, well, I'm going to do what the Romans do and see if I can get a catch or something. Hello. It didn't work. And I tell you, when Allah got a plan for you, and he got a mission for you, and he got something that he wants you to do, he'll block all of that. You can try everything you want to do. Every door gonna get slammed because that is not what he has planned. I had to come to realization with that, and I was like, okay, Allah got a hedge over me.
Come on.
I literally felt like, and I still feel like it. I have a sign on my head that says, do not disturb. Project under construction. Because it's not that people don't talk to me. It's just that they can't approach in that manner because they're not the person for me. And I've been trying to figure it out. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to flirt. Maybe I flirt a little bit. I get a little bump, And I'm just being honest. This is how I am with everybody. Right. This is Alicia. I don't have anything to be ashamed of. I'm gonna just speak my truth, and then you can deal with it later. I'm good. So I just and what it took me into was BMS and BWS. You probably trying to figure out what that is, right?
I am.
Bitter woman syndrome and bitter man syndrome. See, when God got a mission for you and you want to do it your way, when you don't get your way, you get BWS or BMS. Bitter man syndrome or bitter woman syndrome. We get it. And I'm young. And I was like, oh my God, I'm becoming bitter. Ooh. I'm running people away because I'm not getting what I want. I'm becoming a spoiled brat because God's trying to save me from pain. Ain't that crazy? That's crazy. I'm like,
let me hit pause. If y'all heard what she just said, can I get somebody in the chat room to put a fire emoji real fast? Oh my God. Did y'all hear what she just put out there about those 2 syndromes? Matter of fact, can you tell us one more time about those?
Yes. And we can start using them, hashtag them, y'all.
Come on.
BMS and BWS, because men and women get it, which stands for bitter man syndrome or bitter woman syndrome. And it is the most unattractive thing you can have. And that also keeps away your promise.
Oh my God. Wow. Let me just take a quick station break. This is DJ Rockwell. My guest tonight is my little sis, my niecey, right here live in Atlanta, Alicia Muhammad. She is the author of a brand new, beautiful book called The Promise of God to the Woman of God. You can order her book right now. The link is in the description of this video, and you can order that book right now. Let's move on as we get closer to the end of the show, Sister Alicia.
Yes, sir.
Now, again, we're going to stay with chapter 4 for a minute here, because you went there in this chapter. Chapter 4 is titled again, The Search That Went Wrong. Hold on, let me stop using it. The search that went wrong. Sister decided she was no longer gonna. We gonna search. So, chapter, Sister Lisa, and you kept it a buck. You list 6 things that you took away from your experience that we know. So even though you went through it, You learned. You assessed the data and you used it. And I said, man, my sister got this thing. You listed 6 things, but for the interest of time, I'm only going to talk about one. Big Dave, let's go to that slide where we point out this thing she pointed out. Sister Alicia, on page 29 of your book, one of the things you learned, you said, kill the alpha female and learn to bask in your feminine energy. Will you please break that down and explain what that means to us?
Yes, sir. So many of us as women, girls, we are so masculine and manly. How are you going to attract a real man that you want to be the head of your life, to be in charge, and you acting like a man? A man don't want a man. He don't want nothing hard. He laying next to you. You know, I don't want to be hard, but I had to learn that the hard way. We're getting cussed out all the time by my mama. Stop talking to the brothers that way. What is wrong with you? And at first I was like, why you keep saying that? I'm not gonna let nobody try me. You know, that's me.
Right.
He's not trying me. It's a time and a place for everything. And sometimes you don't have to say everything you feel. And you don't have to say it the way you're saying it, because that man is not going to receive that from you. Woman, my grandmama taught me a woman cannot do what a man can do. She can do it, but if he a pimp or a crackhead, he can clean himself up. And he'll be, oh, look at Mr. Green. But Mrs. Green, she was a prostitute and a crackhead. She did the same thing. She always gonna be a prostitute and she always gonna be a crackhead. Because we cannot do everything men do. You can't talk to men crazy and expect for them to treat you like a queen. You being masculine, he gonna treat you just like what you acting like. So I had to learn that. And I done came down a lot. Because I want a man. I don't want no milk toast fruit cake. I don't want that.
Come on.
Because I run him over. I don't want him. I started attracting men like that because I was being manly and didn't even know it.
You mentioned that in the book, that you found yourself and this is very important. This is not on my question list, but I'm glad you went there because it deals with the law of attraction. You gave a very, very important point. Can you please continue that thought and expand on that?
Yes, sir. You attract what you are. If I'm masculine, I'm going to attract the opposite of what I am, a feminine man. And don't know real woman want no feminine man. And don't know real man don't want no hard woman. I don't want that. He don't want that. So if I like somebody that's masculine and he see me to the brothers all the time, he's going to be like, she is crazy. I am not dealing with her. I don't think I can handle her. I don't think I can really deal with that. You know, he don't even give you a chance because you crazy.
Come on, wow.
I don't want to miss my opportunity. You can miss your train, but I'm not missing that. I got my ticket. And I'm getting on the midnight train to Georgia. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm not.
Let me get out around the
miss your train, being a man.
We on that one going out of here. DJ Rockwell. Big Dave, we want to tell the people the 3 steps one more time, Big Dave. Now you have got to go ahead and hit that like and share button. Please tag a sister to hear this great information. And last but not least, make this be the night you subscribe to the Rockwell Radio Show. We're here every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Central. Oh my God, this is going to be a great show. And we'll be talking about this one for a long time. We're talking to our sister Alicia Muhammad, the author of a great, great, great new book called The Promise of God to the Woman of God. Again, although that the book really wasn't aimed at men, I decided to support my sister and get it. And oh my God, am I glad that I did. Sister, we're at the last 10 minutes of the show. Let's see if we can land this plane, as they say. Now, you share that, and you kind of touched on this just a few moments ago, so it's almost as if you're reading my notes. Sister Lisa, you share in the book, you started asking yourself a real deep question. You started asking yourself, what's wrong with me? Why am I single? I ain't hard on the eye, you know. You looking in the mirror at yourself. I mean, am I? You know, we start asking yourself these questions, and you start asking your friends, "Damn, is something wrong with me?" And that's a serious thing because it starts to attack your self-worth. It starts to attack your self-esteem. So again, you kind of touched it, but I want to expand on this thought just a little bit. What is it, Sister Alicia, about the alone stage that makes women start to even think that something's wrong with me?
Brother Vaughn, I'm a special case, and I talk about that in my book. I've never really seen it before. I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, I've never seen this amount of a long time period with any of my other siblings. So my conclusion to that was to just submit to it, because a lot is doing something that I have no clue what's going on. And I kind of was hard on myself and, just trying to like figure out what am I doing wrong. But one thing that I did point out to myself was that I have to be submissive to Allah all the way completely. And the one thing that I have not yet all the way completed, I've started it, but I'm not there yet, is my weight.
Come on now. Come on, let's talk about that. If you want to talk about that.
It's not that I'm not desired. I'm just not desired by those men. I don't want that.
Come on.
You have to be honest with yourself. If you're not where you want to be, you got to fix it, because it's something you got to fix. You prolong your promise based off of your obedience to what Allah said. He told us, "Do not let me catch you out of weight." He said that. Now, I'm quoting.
But we
he told us, "Don't let me catch you." And Brother Vaughn, he told us that. So I'm out of line, and I got to get back in line to get the promise and the abundance of gifts that He has for me. I ain't got to lose a lot. I just got to get where I'm at.
Now, since you brought that up, and your mentioning that just kind of cleared the way for me to ask this, and this is also not on my question list. One day you called me and you was telling me, to come. I think it was probably a dinner sale, and you reached out and said, "Hey, but Mom, you're down here selling blah blah blah," and you begin to tell me about your journey of your weight loss, and you told me where you came from. So, although you might be a little critical on yourself, but you told me where you were. I am getting the numbers. You told me where you were and where you are. So, tell us what went into that part.
I just got tired of feeling like I couldn't breathe. So I got COVID during a 2-year span of not being active doing anything, sitting in the house. I gained so much weight. We're not going to talk about numbers, but it was too much.
Right.
And I got sick. I got COVID, and I felt like I was going to die. I'm like, I am too young to die.
Come on.
I ain't got nothing to leave behind. I don't have a legacy on nothing. And the first thing that the COVID attack was my breathing. And I thought I was fine. I thought I was good. I mean, to me. And then I got sick, and I wasn't. But that didn't even get it, Brother Vaughn. I'm gonna tell you what made me start my journey. I'm an image person, right? I like to look good.
Come on.
Somebody took a picture of my back and put it in the final call. Oh no, ma'am! My mama kept telling me, Alicia, your back kind of, you need to work on it. And I'm like, it ain't wrong with my back. We in denial. I looked at that picture. I said, what in the linebacker? Oh my God.
Right.
I couldn't believe it. I was just like, oh my God. So, I got on it. And I'm like, I gotta take it to the next level. I gotta lose another 60 pounds to get where I'm comfortable with myself. You take a picture of my back. Go ahead. But not right now. If we being honest though, you know, you gotta like what you see in the mirror. You don't care what he says. Do you like it?
Come on, man. If you are just joining us, we are with my sister, my niece, Atlanta born and raised. Sister Alicia Muhammad is with us, y'all. She's the author of a brand new, beautiful book. Dave, if you wouldn't mind, please put her book on the screen one more time. Her book is entitled The Promise of God to the Woman of God by Alicia Muhammad. Just came out just a month ago, and we have it available right on Amazon, and the link is right in the description of this video. Sister, we're down to the last 5 minutes of this show.
Yes, sir.
And I really want to do something different here. Do you have a copy of the book in hand nearby you?
Of course.
Now, in the last chapter of the book, Sister Alicia, you did something that I thought was absolutely profound. You wrote a prayer to your future husband, and it touched my soul. And if you wouldn't mind, I want to stop the music. Could you please read that prayer to everybody watching the Rockwell Radio Show?
I sure will. Okay. Oh Allah, I pray for a God-fearing man. I pray for discernment. I pray for the knowledge that I gain from my experiences. I pray for a man that loves family. I pray that he is a leader. I pray that we will build together. I pray that he is my best friend. I pray he reassures me. I pray that he comforts me. I pray for a man that loves to travel and see new things. I pray to Almighty God that he is a man that will edify my world. I pray that he will love me the way that you love me. I pray that he is patient, loving, and kind. Oh Allah, I pray that you help me to control my mouth so that I will not say something crazy and run him away. Allah, you said that love is patient, love is kind, and love does not envy. I believe in your perfect love, Almighty God Allah. I thank you, Allah, for the knowledge of self and for allowing me to overcome my own demons. I pray that you continue to give me peace within myself and make me whole to be able to receive a man that walks in your faith and lives by your word. I am a queen. I deserve to be treated like one. I am a soldier for Allah. I pray I will continue to love and honor you, Almighty God Allah. And I pray that you will hear my prayer and answer the good desires of my heart. I pray that they are in line with your will. I am ready. I say this prayer in the name of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, I say this prayer in the name of Master Farad Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the Honorable Minister Yusuf Farrakhan. Amen.
Brothers, if you are watching this right now, if she don't get a courtship request,
Brother Fine, I want to say one thing, Ali, and it might start up another conversation, but we ain't got time though. So I feel like some of the brothers, not all, some men, I'm gonna say some men, sure, are not really looking for a real righteous woman.
The minister told us that.
They're afraid of us, but we exist. And don't be afraid if she seems a little crazy. You just got to get to know her and don't run from the challenge. That's all I wanted to say.
Y'all, this is my niece over here. See, this is my niece right here. That's Alicia Muhammad, y'all. Dave, one last time, I'm going to put her book on the screen one last time before we end the show. You can go to Amazon.com and look up the book entitled The Promise of God to the Woman of God by our dear sister, Alicia Muhammad. Brand new book. And there's so much I wanted to get into, but I didn't want to give the book away. Again, it's 5 strong chapters, 40 strong pages. And again, as a brother, I was blown away. Nisi, we are so proud of you.
Thank you.
Proud of you. So thank you for being a guest on the show. And as we close out the show, sis, the final word is yours. Anything you want to say?
Yes, I just want to tell the mighty FOI, Fruit of Islam. We love the FOI. Stay strong. And I got a song for y'all on YouTube, so just go listen to it.
Oh, man, I forgot.
It's called Black is God.
Alicia
Black is God.
Sing, y'all. Alicia can. I wish we had some more. You know what? It's my show. I got as much time as I want. But I'm not going to hold you, Sister Alicia, to sing a song.
Yes, sir.
Tell you what, thank you so much. We're so proud of you. And you can come back on the Rockwell Radio Show to talk more about your book, your future projects, anytime you like. Please send my sister, your mother, the greetings from her brother. Man, that's my people right there, boy. I'm telling you. And the day I bought the book, the first thing she said, Vaughn, is funny. You get your humor from her. You get your humor from her for sure.
I do, definitely. So, don't tell her I kind of choked up a little bit, but
well, she had to go back and watch that for herself.
Yeah, she gotta watch it. Right. I got a little shaky, but it's okay. I love my mom.
I was almost right there with you.
She's my favorite girl.
Come on now. Who don't love them some Sister C now? So Thank you. We are out of here. But before we go, we want to give you all a heads up on what's going to be happening right here next week on the Rockwell Radio Show. We have a special broadcast where we are broadcasting on Friday, not Saturday. Friday. Big Dave, show what we got going on next Friday.
In that case, no more pussyfooting around. Come, let's fight.
That's right. Our brother, GM, Brother Anthony Muhammad, will be right here with us next Friday, live in person. Don't miss it. This is DJ Rockwell. That's my sister, Alicia Muhammad. And you just hung out with us right here on the Rockwell Radio Show. We are out of here.
Rockwell, I'd like to know, are you really ready for some super dynamite soul?